but it's too replace. This is my 8-year-old me's been waiting for this for 8 years. 8 plus 8, 16. Yeah.
In math, baby.
Yeah. It's hard.
Just got out of FNAF. It was pretty sick. We're going to Texas
fucking
Roadhouse
loved
now.
it!
Give me a quick review for FNAF. Peyton's the biggest FNAF fan.
Yeah,
here,
no,
so
I've been
what'd
waiting
you
for that.
think?
I've been waiting for that since I was 8 years old, and it was everything.
George, quick FNAF review.
Loved it again for the second time.
What was your reaction to Shaggy being the villain?
I mean, shit, wasn't surprised. I knew he eventually cracked.
So yeah, we just saw the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and we all really enjoyed it. I reacted to like 3 of the trailers, I think. All the trailers, I think, were very solid, and the movie itself also very solid. Like, I'm not the biggest FNAF fan. Like, I know like a little bit of the lore. Like, I watched like the VHS tapes by Squimpus McGrimpus. You guys can go check that out if you haven't. But I know like the general lore. And Peyton, he's the one that like is really into the lore, and he knows like basically everything, and he really enjoyed it. So that tells me if you're a big FNAF fan, you're most likely going to enjoy this movie. The standout thing for me was the animatronics themselves, just because they looked so good. Like the way they move and everything, like it was perfect. It was perfect. Like they built real animatronics for this movie, and they looked so good. Like, this would not have worked with CGI. Like, the fact that they're practical is why it works. Obviously, there's probably a few shots where, like, you need CGI. I mean, that's just to be expected. But, like, anytime you're, like, close up with the animatronics and they're just moving, it's practical. And it looks fantastic. And in general, the cast was all really good as well. By far the standout, though, is Matthew Lillard. It was officially, like, reported before, even before they even went into production on the movie, that Matthew Lillard was playing William Afton. Now, my friend Peyton, he actually did not know about that. So the reveal that he was Springtrap and William Afton, because, like, throughout, like, until the end of the movie, he went under the alias of Steve Raglan, who was Mike's career counselor, and the twist at the end that he was William Afton and Springtrap, like, Peyton did not see that coming at all, because he actually did not know he was William Afton. And eventually, the other animatronics turn on him, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. They all turn on him, and they activate the spring lock suit, trapping him inside, and his final line is, "I always come back." So, I mean, and the post-credit scene is him, like, in a storage closet, just, like, kind of just, like, twitching and sparking and stuff. So, I mean, they're obviously setting up a sequel, and I would just love to get more of him, because I love Matthew Lillard in anything from, like, Scream to Scooby-Doo, so, I mean, I would love to see a sequel to this. And it's just so cool, the amount of Easter eggs that, like, me as, like, just, like, a casual fan, like, that would definitely not pick up on. But, like, the hardcore fans, I'm sure there's a ton of Easter eggs in here that you will really enjoy. I mean, the few details that I picked up on are pretty cool. And, I mean, there's definitely a ton of stuff in there that I'm sure goes way over my head. You can tell there was a lot of love put into this movie. And, I mean, this has been in production for years. I mean, it's honestly a miracle it even got made. And just the pizzeria itself, the way they just brought it to life was pretty great. I mean, just like the colors and sounds and music, it was all pretty great. It is PG-13, so it's not as violent as maybe it could have or should have been, but there are some pretty bloody and violent shots in this, and I was pleasantly surprised by that. The one surprisingly violent scene I was referring to, like, there's a few other shots of, like, bloody and, like messed up faces, but, like, the surprising one for me was when the character of Max was actually bitten, like, in half, and you just see, like, the shadow of, like, her like, second half of her body just, like, falling to the ground. Like, that was kind of shocking, because I wasn't expecting that. Like, the final scene with William Afton just being spring-locked and trapped in the suit was, like, pretty bloody, and actually, like, it was a great scene. Probably my favorite scene in the whole movie. Where, like, there's this random scene where, like, at this point, Abby, who is Mike's sister, like, befriends the animatronics, and they build a fort for some reason. Like, there's this, like, musical montage of them just building a fort out of, like, tables and chairs. And it was so weird because, like, immediately after that, we go into, like, this really tense scene between Mike and Vanessa about, like, the history of, like, and, like, her past. It was just such a weird scene that was just kind of crammed in there for, like, no reason, really. Like, I get it, they're trying to, like, show, like, the bond between Abby and the animatronics, but it's, like, just seeing, like, Freddy and Bonnie, like, just stacking tables set to, like, this, like, music was just really weird. Because, like, the rest of the movie is very serious, and, like, the animatronics can be kind of creepy at times, but it's, like, that one scene, it was just complete. It just felt completely off from like the rest of the movie. But it's such a small scene that like it really doesn't matter, and it doesn't bother me that much. One of the cameos shown in the trailer is a YouTuber, Corey Kenshin, who was driving the taxi that Abby and Golden Freddy took. The other big cameo that I was not expecting was Matt Pat, game theory, film theory, food theory himself. Because like I'm pretty sure in videos he's said before they're like he's not in the movie, but I mean I obviously he can't say that he is, so I mean it makes sense. He even had a line where it was like he was like a waiter at this one restaurant. And he said something like, "But hey, it's just a theory." It's like it was so fun. I mean that's a word that can pretty much describe this whole movie. It's just fun. Like it's just a good time at the movies, and like you should definitely go see it with some friends because we had a great time. It's definitely not a masterpiece or anything, but it's just a good time. And they definitely left things in a way where we could explore more of the history in future sequels. A couple other things I just want to point out is like there is one point like near the beginning where they actually use like the actual jump scare sound effect, which is cool. I really enjoyed the opening credits where it was like it looked like a video game. It was all like digital and pixelated. Like that was pretty cool. And I really enjoyed the music too, like especially in the opening and end credits. And I've seen so many YouTube titles and thumbnails just saying, "Oh, the FNAF movie's so bad, it sucks, it's stupid, it's dumb." It's like, why can't people just enjoy movies? It's like, yeah, it's dumb. That's kind of the point. Not everything has to be some cinematic masterpiece. Like, just turn your brain off for a couple hours and enjoy a film. From what I've heard, like, there are some changes that, like, maybe some hardcore fans might take issue with. Me personally, someone who's never played any of the games and only knows, like, a little bit of the lore, I really enjoyed it. And my friend Peyton, who is really into the lore and has played a lot of the games, he also really enjoyed it. So it might just depend on person to person. And, like, Peyton, at the end of the movie, like, he said that, like he's just been waiting for this movie since he was like 8 years old, and like he was just like as soon as the movie ended he was very happy with it. But based on my experience, I feel that whether you're a person who's never played any of the games and knows nothing about Five Nights at Freddy's, or someone who's really into the lore and everything, I think both sides can really enjoy this. Overall, we all really enjoyed the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and if and when a sequel's announced, I will be there. So that's going to do it for my review for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.